Hi guys, welcome back to Inside Spurs. He's signed. He's done. He's finally here. Bissouma is here. He's signed. There's videos all over the internet now. Spurs have reposted videos. It's finally over. We now can sort of be happy about it, but obviously move on. Just a couple of updates as well. We'll talk about Antony. We'll talk about Martinez as well. And there was a couple of bits there as well as Eriksen. So well. Yeah, Bissouma really quickly. It's done. Fantastic. I'm really happy with this. It's exactly what we need. The fact that it got announced out of the blue that we were going to do it. The fact that it's now done. Brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's chance of business that Spurs have never done really in terms of how quick it was and how out of the blue it was. Normally, we're a lot like what Man United are right now. We're linked with this guy. Oh, we're talking to this guy. Six weeks later, we're still talking to this guy. So the fact that it's done, it's announced, it's here, zero complaints from me. Paratiki is working a absolute storm up here and he's brilliant. I absolutely love him. He's smashing it out of the park. Daniel Levy must be scared because he's having to fork out cash so early onto a window instead of, looking after a few pennies. So really, really good. Really happy with that. It's third signing now. Like I said, from what we know, Conte wants minimum 8. He wants up to 8, but he wants, minimum 6, but he wants up to 8. Well, there's 3. We want 3 more. It's, in my opinion, it's Spence and Eriksen. They're the next 2. Because like I said in a video earlier, Bissouma, they wanted to get done and through first before they went on to others. Those 2 are the next ones, Spence and Eriksen. So moving really on to Eriksen, loads of reports out today, loads of really great information. Looks like we're sitting in pole position now. Came out well across the internet that Man United now had fallen back in the race a little bit. I think that's kind of to do with the Frenkie de Jong situation. I think they want to get that done before they move on to their Timbers and things like that. But yeah, it looks like we are pole position sign Eriksen, which, hey, we wanted a couple of centre mids and here we are. We're sitting with Bissouma announced and maybe we're really starting to kick on with Eriksen. I still think it's going to take a couple of weeks, but we're kicking on now. So really amazing news on that front that we're at least sitting in a position of strength. Eriksen must look at the way we're working and the transfer business and sort of think, this seems like a really different Spurs to where I left only a few years ago. So yeah, if we could get Eriksen, it's brilliant. It like I said earlier in today's video, it frees up Harry Kane's to be more of a focal point, be more of a striker. And it still doesn't mean Son doesn't, get what he wants to do, going in behind and scoring goals. Eriksen still can do everything Kane did playmaking-wise. But yeah, I'm excited by the prospect. Look, anything can happen in today's day and age, but I'm really excited by that prospect. And you know what? Maybe it happens. And if it does, it's more great business. You think if we've done Perisic, we've done Forster, we've done Bissouma, and we'll do Eriksen for about 30 million. Need I say any more? So yeah, that's really exciting. Lautaro Martinez, I talked about this morning as being someone that Spurs are interested in. It's very unlikely. We're talking about 90 million euros. When it's come out today, he's got a release clause of 105 million euros. So I think Inter would probably try and squeeze people all the way up to that. In my opinion, I think he's brilliant. I do think he's an absolute star. But I'm not spending I don't want to spend 105 million euros on him. 90 million, even then I'm a bit like, oh, that's a bit much. If we can get him around 70, then I'm really interested. But yeah, I don't really see that one happening. I just think strikers are such a premium at the moment. When you think of Jesus going for up to 50 million potentially. You think Darwin Nunez, who no one really knew about a year ago, went for 80 million plus 20 million added on. I know Haaland went for a lot cheaper, but again, that was a release clause. People wanted him the summer before for double that. So, I don't know. I think it will be a difficult one to supply that backup that we want to Kane, who's going to play minutes. It's not like they're not going to play. They're going to get a lot of minutes. So, really interested to see that, really. I really don't know who it is. I'm not going to sit here and say I want Richarlison. I really don't, especially for the money they want. I'd rather spend 105 million on Lautaro Martinez than sort of 75 million euros on Richarlison. But who is it? I really don't know. I know we were linked with, like I said, Ben Bertrand Diaz. So that's morning. Historically we're linked with Calvert-Lewin from Everton, but he's going to cost sort of 60, 70 million euros for a guy who had massive injury problems last year, and when he did play, didn't really deliver. So we don't really know who it's going to be. I'd assume the striker position actually might be one of the last things we saw. I think we're going to go for the wing-back position. I think we're going to go for a centre-mid. And I do think actually we're going to look at exits probably from about now. Well, we say Lo Celso, Ndombele, Reguilon, Emerson, Sanchez, Mora, Bergwijn. I think there's going to be more outs in this sort of space when we're signing Eriksen and Spence. I think you can see if 2 are coming in, I think 2 or 3, maybe even 4 are going out, and then we go again with another couple of incomings and another couple of outgoings. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But it was interesting. Martinez is the information coming out. He does love Conte and he does want to work with him, but he does love Inter, and it's a very similar to a Bastoni situation where wants to work with Conte, loves Conte, but it's like that thing. They'd want him in Inter so they can work with him in Inter. It's not to say they don't like Spurs whatsoever. I just think they really do enjoy playing at Inter. There's nothing wrong with that. Look at Lukaku. Joined a bigger club in Chelsea. Played for Man United. Prefers Inter. It's not shocking that he prefers Inter over his West Brom stint or Everton, but it's still shocking that he picks a team who, post Mourinho, hadn't really done a ton in the Serie A because of obviously the financial issues they had. Goes to Inter, sets the world alight, comes back to the Premier League, couldn't shut up about Inter. So there is a lure for their players that they do love it. That's Martinez, that's Eriksen. Antony. Loads of reports coming out that Antony has interest obviously from Man United because obviously Erik ten Hag and that Ajax connection, but there's interest from 2 London clubs. In my opinion, it won't be Arsenal. Fabio Vieira can play out on the right. They still have Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe. I think wingers-wise, they're stocked out. They still have Pepe, which I'd assume they'll probably try and move on from, but they still have Pepe. I would say it's Arsenal. Not Arsenal, sorry. I would say it's Spurs, and I'd say it's Chelsea. Chelsea obviously probably going to look to move on from Hakim Ziyech. Hasn't hit the ground running, but then again, hasn't really been given a consistent platform to do it. Again, what's going on in their situation? Because obviously they were after Koundé, it doesn't look like getting him. Looks like he's going to Barca, alongside 12 other people that Barca seem to have the money for wages-wise when they got a salary cap. But yeah, I'd assume it's us. Like I said it in a previous video, we have been linked with Antony. It has shown that we have interest in Antony. This report actually does sign up because I did actually sort of make a few notes as such to say that there are reports from Holland to say it is us. It was and it was also came out that Miguel Delaney said it's Spurs that are in for Antony, which that's exciting. Antony's a brilliant player, can play a bit of striker if necessary, but I think it's more of a winger, but he's a left-footed winger. Again, it gives us another option. If we're going to keep Mora and we go and get Antony, that we say, look, well, we've got Mora and Antony, Kulusevski and Son. We then go and get the backup striker, and there's our attacking options done. We're bringing the Eriksen, there's your centre-mid options done. You bring in Spence, there's your right wing-back situation done. You've got your keeper situation done. You sign Perisic, there's your left wing-back situation done. There will be exits, obviously your Winks, maybe your Reguilons, your Emersons, your Ndombeles, your Bergwijns. But then you go, right, okay, well, go get a couple of centre-halves. Let's loan out Joe Rodon, sorry, I mullered that. Let's look at maybe moving on from a Sanchez and go, right, let's maybe look at a Bremer. Let's look at a Longley, a Pau Torres. Let's look at, there's probably 3 or 4 that we have no idea Spurs are interested in, and it's them. Maybe it's a Stefan de Vrij, because he looks like he's going on the cheap, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to go and get him. He is quality. I know we're linked with a few others, but it is very early stages in terms of their interest. But when you come to think of it, if you've got the winger situation sorted, you've got the centre mid situation sorted when Eriksen comes in, and let's say we get Antony, those are the winger sorted, centre mid sorted, Spence, that's right wing, Perisic, that's left wing, backup striker, 2 centre backs, 3 more deals. Is it outrageous to say 3 more deals within the next sort of 3.5 weeks before we go to Korea? I don't think so. Not a Paratiki. I'd probably say once we're out there, we might get a third. I don't think it's outrageous to think in the next 3.5 weeks, say 3 weeks, that we don't get at least 3 done. And I think that's so exciting. It's been such a long time since Spurs did quality business, but also quality business early. It's brilliant. I actually feel like a big club right now, because we are doing things the way it should be done instead of scrimping for a 500k £1 million here and there. So yeah, really excited. Just want to make a really short video. Really, really exciting at the moment. Had to make a video. Bissouma signing. It'd be rude not to make a video, no. But no, really, really awesome. Let me know what you think. I know there was conversation obviously in the last video about Champions League and things like that. The new format's not for another year, potentially 2. It should start in 2024, depending on if Super League kicks in again, which is always a worrying thing. But the new format does scream Super League a little bit. It favours the clubs that do really well in their own Premier Leagues and Ligas and Ligue 1s and all the other leagues. I don't know. Right now it is based on historical European performance, which, knowing us, would probably be tier 2 or tier 3 in terms of pots. But we'll have to wait and see. But no, really exciting. Like I said, Antony we're linked with now properly. Spence, still nothing. Eriksen seems to be the front runner. Lautaro Martinez seems a bit far-fetched, like a Bastoni. But hey, we'll wait and see. The market is still young. Bissouma is here. 3rd signing done. Next 3 weeks, get another 3. I don't see why not. Anyway, lads, take it easy. Let me know what you think. Take care.